Welcome back to my kitchen. On today's menu, we have a breakfast pot pie. Think chicken pot pie, just swap with breakfast ingredient. We're gonna layer this with the best parts of breakfast, top it with a honey butter biscuit, throw it into the oven until it's golden brown. This has potential to be one of the ones, but let's get to work and find out. Our first layer of flavor going down with some sauteed veggies. I'm going with some onions first to start down with, and then some bell peppers. Mix this up and then we'll let it soften over the next 5 to 7 minutes. Look at this knife work. I've really been trying to get cold with my knife work and I'm very happy with that. That's beautiful. Mix this up and then I'm gonna continue to cook this off heat over there to the side of me. Y'all know what sauteing veggies is like. I'm also going to add some mushrooms to this to let those cook down. But I figured y'all didn't really need to see that. Like y'all know how to saute some veggies in the pan. And just gonna add some mushrooms in when these start to soften a little bit more because mushrooms don't take that long. This is going over here and we're gonna start on the grits. I love grits. They're gonna be cheese grits. They're gonna be absolutely phenomenal. I'm also going to be cooking some sausage off camera and along with some eggs. Y'all know how to do that. Just grounding some ground breakfast sausage and then cooking some eggs up however you like. Keep an eye on your veggies. Once those have softened up, we'll go ahead and add the mushrooms. Actually, they look softer right now, so that's what I'm about to add to the pan. I am using white mushrooms. And you know mushrooms shrink, so it looks like a lot, but it's not gonna be a lot in reality. Right here, we're starting with a saucepan with some chicken stock. You could easily do water, but chicken stock is going to add flavor. Once this comes up to a simmer, kind of like steaming, we're gonna add the quick grits. Nice and simple. We're gonna do Gouda cheese grits. Phenomenal, but once that is there, that's when you'll see me next. This is starting to simmer. Let's go down with our grits. Nice, simple. You know, they always say you should like pour them in slowly and then like incorporate them, but I never do that. We're just gonna whisk these together so they get nice and thick. They're gonna cook over the next 5 to 7 minutes. When they start to thicken up, that's when we'll add the cheese and any other seasoning that you want. This recipe is super customizable. You can add things, take things away, whatever makes you happy for breakfast. Think about that and you can add this to the chicken pot pie and you're really gonna have something special. So we can turn this heat down, let it cook. Once these grits are nice and thickened up, we're gonna add a little bit more moisture to it in the form of milk. Chicken broth gonna be phenomenal, then a little bit more fat. A nice knob of butter, you can always play with this. Mix this together. I really love the sound of a kitchen. It's so amazing. Like hearing those veggies saute right next to me, it's like music to my ears. As we're getting close to that butter being melted, we're gonna go in with our cheese now. I'm just gonna add all the cheese in right now. This is Gouda, like I said, smoked Gouda because we want the max amount of flavor. And at this point, you can really cut the heat. Grits are one of my favorite things about breakfast. Comment down below, what is your favorite thing about breakfast? Like what is the non-negotiable you gotta have every time you eat breakfast? For me, that's easily grits. Let's season this up. A good pinch of salt, a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper, a little bit of onion powder. Of course, can't have onion powder without garlic powder. A good bit of that. And then one of my favorite ingredients, we'll go a little bit of smoked paprika. Be careful with this because it will turn the color of the grits. Let's taste it and see how we did. Wow. Needs a good pinch of salt. After that, we're gonna be good to go. We'll keep this in a warm spot and let's get started on these honey butter biscuits. This is what our veggies are looking like. Nice, sauteed beautifully. We're gonna set these to the side. Now you just cook your sausage, your eggs, and we're good to go. Now, let's get started on the honey butter biscuits. This biscuit is super simple to make. We're gonna make like drop biscuits so they won't be like an actual biscuit. We're gonna have to like spoon it over the top and kind of spread it out. Go down there with flour, of course, baking soda, baking powder, and then we need a pinch of salt just so we can taste everything. I'm gonna mix this up real quick before we get our hands dirty. We're gonna take cold cube butter, add it to the flour. We're just gonna have to work this in till we get nice pea-sized pieces. I like to cover the butter up first before I start working it, just so in case, like my hands be hot sometimes, so I don't want it to like melt instantly. So I feel like this kind of gives it a nice coating, and we're just gonna smash them between our fingers just like so. Once it looks just like this, you have tiny pea-sized pieces of butter. We'll go ahead and add our wet ingredients. The first wet ingredient we're gonna add is buttermilk. Of course, buttermilk biscuits always gonna hit the spot for some sweetness. Y'all know me, I love a little bit of sweetness at my breakfast, and we're gonna lean a little bit more to the sweeter side than like spicy side or like more savory side. But you can always play with this. I'm gonna go with a couple tablespoons of honey. For some heat, we'll add a couple dashes of hot sauce. Just get in there with a spoon and we're gonna mix this all up. The dough's gonna be thick, but still kind of like scoopable-esque. You know, you don't want it to be like a brick, obviously, but I'll show you what mine looks like. Give me 1 second. Let me work all this flour in. You want it thick, but still scoopable, kind of just like this. Looks perfect to me. Okay, let's get some ramekins and we are going to build this thing. To fill these up, nice and simple, take some grits, and this is gonna be our bottom layer. Nice little bit, you can add as much or as little as you want. Like I always say every week, these are very customizable. Then we're gonna add these veggies that we cooked up, looking nice and beautiful, just like so. And y'all get the gist, you know what I'm saying? You can really, it really don't matter which layer you go through, it's all gonna be great. And then you just place some eggs right over the top. We'll do a nice layer, just like so. Spread it out, and then we're gonna take that biscuit dough and just plop it right over the top. Just like so. Y'all see that just came out like that? That's crazy. And then I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna just spread that biscuit dough out just a little bit, just so we can have full coverage on top of this thing. I probably should have did a little bit better now. I'm thinking about it. Maybe those scooping wasn't the right thing to do. I'm happy with that. Now you just rinse and repeat. I'm gonna knock these out and I'll see you right before it goes in the oven. Forgot to mention, we're gonna add a little bit of cheese on top of the eggs. That first one's missing cheese, which is gonna suck, but it's okay. 3 other ones got cheese, so it's gonna be good. Once these are filled, they're going in a 400-degree oven, 20 to 25 minutes till the tops are golden brown. I'll let y'all know how long that takes, but I'll see you in a second. Okay, our pot pies are out the oven looking absolutely beautiful. Right here, I have some maple butter, just maple syrup and butter melted in the pot, and we're just gonna brush this right over the top. At first, I was thinking of doing like honey butter, but I was like, we already added some honey. I feel like maple butter would be a lot better, a lot more tasty. Oh, just look at that golden sheen. Good Lord. And it baked for about 22 minutes for me. That's how long it took for it to get nice and golden brown tops. Let's crack into this bad boy. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, nice, soft. Let's see if we get a little bit of everything, which we do, man. Sheesh. This mug is steaming. There you go, that's y'all's bite. Don't make the same thing all the time. Challenge yourself in the kitchen, man. It's been a long night for me. I damn near been up 24 hours, so this food really about to hit the spot. Cheers to y'all, let's go for it. Man, that truly is super comforting. This really does give pot pie vibes. Good Lord. I'm happy with this, no complaints. This is really gonna be in the rotation. I'm gonna have to bring this back out when it gets cold outside. Come back next week for a banger. I'll see y'all then. Peace.